All right, so we're going to do exercise 10-25 on page 389 of your text. This is a production and materials purchases budget. So those are two separate budgets, but they are often done together because we will figure out how many we need to produce first of all, and then we'll need to figure out what the materials are in order to do that budget. And so if we read this, we see that projected sales, and when we do budgets, one of the things that happens is we always start with a sales budget because there's no point in, and we need an accurate sales budget, as close to accurate as we can get. There's absolutely no point in producing something if we can't sell it. And on the other hand, we can't do our financial budgets if we don't know what we're going to sell. So we always start with a sales budget. And so what we have here is the projected sales of the end product for quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the way I like to set these up is I set this up across the page, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. And so then what we do after that is we put in the projected sales. And so we're going to have 90,000 units sold in quarter 1, 76,000 in quarter 2, 68,000 in quarter 3, and 96,000 in quarter 4. All right. So now what you're going to find is that you have to project one quarter farther. You have to project your sales one unit farther. It may be a month, maybe a week. Month, week, quarter. You have to go one beyond what you're trying to get. Now we're looking for the quarter 2. So we're going to get our projections for our needs from the sales, the manufacturing for quarter 3. So we'll get that for quarters 1, 2, and 3. But then for our material purchases, that holds true too. And so we need one more. So we'll actually only get our materials purchases for quarters 1 and 2 out of this. And the problem asks us, what is our production and materials budget for the second quarter? All right, so this is our sales. This is where we start here. On the next line, you put down your desired ending inventory. And so in this problem, it says that the company's policy is to begin each quarter with an inventory of product equal to 5% of that quarter's estimated sales requirements and an inventory of direct materials equal to 20%. Now, we're going to assume in this case that they actually met that 5% requirement for quarter 1. But so our desired ending inventory is actually going to come from here. We need 76,000 is our projected sales in quarter 2. And so we need 5% of that at the end of quarter 1 because this quarter's ending is next quarter's beginning inventory, right? So we take the 76,000 and we multiply that times 5%, and we get 3,800. So our desired ending inventory is 3,800, which is 5% of 76,000. We then add those two together, and this is our total needs for the quarter. So that'll just be 93,800. And then we subtract the beginning inventory. And we're going to assume that they met that 5% for quarter 1. And so 90,000 times 5%, that's going to be 4,500. and we'll put that in brackets to show that we subtract it. And so the amount that we need to produce, production, will be 89,300. And so that's what we need to produce in quarter one. Then in quarter two, we're just going to take that, we're going to take our 76,000 projected sales, and we need 5% of that. So that will be 3,400. 5% of 68,000 is 3,400. Add those together, we get 79,400. Now, our last year's ending or last quarter's ending inventory or beginning will be our beginning inventory. So we just move this down here, 38,000, and subtract it off, and we get 75,000. Sorry, 75,600 for that. Okay. Now we need 96,000 units in ending inventory, or we need 96,000 units in sales for quarter four. So 5% of that is 4,800 units. So that means our total needs are 72,800. But once again, we have that ending inventory is 3,400, which we will subtract off. And we get 69,400 is the amount we need to manufacture in quarter three. Now we can't do quarter four, right? Because we don't know what our sales projection would be for quarter one of next year. And so this is where we have to stop with this procedure. Well, that gives us our production budget, and we're going to produce 75,600 for quarter two. The second part of this exercise is that we need to get our materials purchase budget. Now, it says in the problem here that each unit requires 3 pounds of direct material. So we're going to take this 89,300 and we're going to multiply it by 3. So that will be 267,900 pounds are required in order to make 89,300 units. And we do that for each of these. And 75,600 is going to give us 226,800, and 69,400 is going to give us 208,200. All right, so that's how many units we're going to need to produce. But we're also told that we need 20% of that requirement in beginning of the next month's usage in beginning inventory. So it's going to be the same process. This will be our usage this time instead of sales. And then we have our ending inventory. It'll be the exact same process, and that will give us our total needs. So 226,800 times 20% is 45,360. So our total needs will be 313,260. All right. We then take off our beginning inventory, which we will again assume that they met. So that'll be 20% of 267,900. And that would be 53,580. And we'll put that in brackets because we don't have to buy it because it's already on hand in the beginning inventory. And so we subtract that off. That will give us 259,680. And so that's how many pounds of materials we will need to buy in quarter one. Okay, we're going to do that for quarter two as well, which is actually the question that was asked of us. So our desired ending inventory will be 20% of the quarter three usage, which is 208,200. And we get 41,640. So we add those two together. So our total needs in quarter two will be 268,440. But once again, we're going to have a beginning inventory, and this time we just bring it down just like we did before, and that will be the 45,360. And so when we subtract that off, we end up with 223,080. And so that answers our question. How much is our production budget? We will make 75,600 units, and we will need to buy in quarter two 223,080. Now, the step that goes further, the problem didn't ask us for that, is we then turn this into a cash purchases budget. So we would have to know what the price per pound is for that. And we would simply multiply this, the amount times the dollar value of the cost of it. And then we get into things such as when do we pay for it? Is it 30 days? Do we have discounts? All that sort of thing with that, with the budgeting. But this answers problem 10-25. So we'll see you on the next exercise.